Okay, just for practice, let's give this one a try. So the first thing I'm thinking of is the shape of her head. I am seeing this as the shape of her head with some hair shapes. And then something that Tom Richmond teaches is to look for the T shape. So that's what I'm imagining in my mind's eye. So let's draw. And I may try to stylize this one a little bit better. Okay, I use a Mangaka flexible Zig marker, medium. I get these from Jet Pens. So I'll do one stroke for the eye. She doesn't have large eyelashes, so I just suggest them a little bit. One stroke here. She's got dark eyes. Now, if you stay to the end of this video, I'll do a quick demo on the 4 types of eyes I draw when drawing a live party caricature. I've got it down to 4 types of eyes. And that helps me draw faster because I know it's going to be one of those 4. Okay, now there's kind of a wide space between her eyes. So that's the bridge of the nose. Another 1-stroke line. Just suggest some eyelashes. Another line here. And let me know if you'd like to see any other type of videos. Okay, now we're going to go for the eyebrow. Now her nose, compared to the rest of her face, is close to the eyes. And it's kind of like a little button nose. So I'm just going to suggest that's like the dimension line, that line right there. Where the top of the nose bends toward the bottom of the nose. And her nose is turned up a little bit, so I'm going to have a lot of space between the middle of the nose and down here. Suggest these nostrils. Another thing when you're drawing little kids or women, you just want to use the fewest lines possible for the nose. If you start drawing every detail, it's going to really stand out on the face, and that is not the goal. The goal for me, at a party at least, is to draw a cool souvenir. I'm gonna add a couple of lines, even though I said not to add a few lines, but here we go. I'm gonna add a few more lines anyway. Hope it would. Okay, that's good. Now her mouth, it's kind of a small to medium mouth, and it seems like it's turned up further on under this eye than the other one. So I'm going to kind of exaggerate that just for the fun of it. I may have over exaggerated it, but We're just doing these for fun. You see when I drew this bottom lip line, I start off thin, I get thicker, then I go back to thin again. And then I'm just looking at the lip, and when I turn my head to start drawing, I just remember it for a split second, or remember it the best I can, and then draw my impression of it. There's a little space in the corner of the mouth. And then I'm going to suggest some teeth. I'm using the a disappearing line and then reappearing because I don't want her teeth to look like there's giant gaps between them. Little line here to suggest the beginning of the chin. Now, switch to my big marker. She's got a small little chin poking out there. Now, this line, try to get it with one bold stroke. Hopefully I don't mess up. I'm gonna go boom, boom. Okay, here we go. Cross your fingers. Smooth that out. Okay. Same thing on this side. Try to get a bold, confident stroke on the forehead. We kind of overemphasize this, so I'm going to de-emphasize the hairline. I'm going to show you a shorthand that I used for curls, and that is this type of line. And basically I use that type of line as like a shorthand for curls. It kind of looks stylish, and it's easy to do fast if you need to. Got one wild hair coming out here and then doing a curly Q. I want to get that on there. Now we're going to add our ears. I'm looking at the top of the ear and seeing where it lines up. If it's closer to the eye or the eyebrow. So here it kind of lines up right in this area. That's the top of the ear. And it ends somewhere around here. So it's kind of a small ear. Another thing I'm thinking of is tangents. Like I don't want this line to touch that line. That would create a tangent, which is two lines touching each other, which kind of messes up the illusion of perspective. She's got curly hair, so I'm just being stylish. I'm going small, big. You don't want to be a bunch of small bumps. You want some small and big, a variety. And I'm kind of holding the pen back a little bit. That way, mistakes are on purpose. Now our neck seems a little thick in the photo and a little bit to this side, so we can add that. Then I would probably add a collar just to ground the whole thing. Now I'm going to pop off the small end of my big marker. I hope y'all can see this. Now I'm just going to do some stylized curves. We can add some wild hairs here and there. I actually think I accidentally made her look older than she is. But there we have it. This is my quick signature, 2022 JT. And I said I was going to give you a quick tutorial on how I draw eyes. So here it is. First off, I look at the shape of the eye. I always draw what I see. So the shape of the eye is always going to change based on how I see. But what I do is, let's just say this is the basic shape of an eye. Pupils in there. Now I look at how big the iris is. I think it's called the iris. The black part of the eye inside the color. One way I draw it, I'll add a highlight here. And then I'll draw the black part just outside that highlight. And add shading, add a shade like that. Another way to do it is, like I say, I'm drawing the shape of the eye based on the person. So that always changes, but if they have a lighter colored eye, then I always look, is it a small pupil? I think it's the pupil, that's what it's called, not the iris. Then I just make it smaller. And then some people have an extremely light colored eye. And the way I do that is, you make a big highlight and then a small pupil. And that kind of, even though you're only using black and white, that kind of looks like someone with a blue eye or a very light green eye. And then this would be like someone with a soft brown eye. Okay, and then there's one more way. If they have really light eyes, say this is the eye shape, which would probably change according to the person. Draw the iris in there, and then I'd make the pupil, but just cut a notch out of the pupil. I don't actually draw in this case I don't actually draw the highlight, but I just leave that notch out there and suggest that the highlight's there. And sometimes I can even draw the shadow under the eyelid, leaving room for the highlight. And then when I'm drawing somebody, to save me 30 seconds or during the drawing or longer, I just choose, is it a dark eye? I draw a larger, dark shape. Oh yeah, there's one more way. Sorry. Let's draw a really dark eye. So, eye shape, which would always change according to the person. Then this time we draw the iris, I guess it's called, and then put a pupil inside it. And if it's like a little kid, you can even put two pupils, like if there's really a lot of reflection going on. It doesn't have to be a little kid, but it really enhances the cuteness level if you put two highlights. So that would be the fifth way I would draw an eye. That's a very dark eye, a mid-dark eye, a light eye, a really light eye, and another way to do a light eye. So there you have it.